Alright, so the story for Dust: An Elysian Tale is set in a world where every single character is a human/animal hybrid, and those animals usually range from foxes or rabbits or cats and lizards. So you start off in the game as a character named Dust, who is in the middle of a meadow and he has no idea who he is. He wakes up, he has amnesia, he's like, who am I? You know, it's pretty much anime cliche number 58, amnesia. Soon after Dust wakes up, he realizes that a sword is talking to him, and the sword's name is Ara, and this sword is telling him, yo, pick me up, man, we'll go out, we'll find out who you really are, we'll fight a bunch of guys, we'll kill a bunch of dudes, we'll save this world from an evil general who is pretty much destroying it. Yo, pick me up and we'll do this. So he picks up the sword, of course, and he sets out on his journey. But before he does that, he meets up with a fox/bat character named Fidget, who becomes pretty much his companion and also side weapon in the game, which I'll talk about in the gameplay. So I thought the story here was actually very entertaining, and it was filled with really likable characters. And even though they used the obvious amnesia plot, it actually goes somewhere that I haven't seen before. It actually comes with a really cool twist at the end. Also, it's very well written and extremely funny too at times. I mean, the humor here is very well written, and it actually pokes fun of itself, which I really like. So overall, I thought the story here was fantastic. Now let's talk about the sound, and start off, of course, with the voice acting. At first, I really did not care for the voice acting in this game, but when I got into the game later on, I actually started really enjoying the voice actors, especially the two main leads, of course, Dust and Fidget. And I just like how they just go back and forth with their dialogue and their humor, and they'll make snappy comebacks to one another. I just like that. I like that whole, camaraderie feel to the two main characters. And of course, the supporting cast does a really good job as well, even though sometimes here and there you'll hear some pretty bad voice acting, but for the most part they did a good job. And the sound design and the soundtrack are both fantastic in the game as well. Sound design gets really frantic when you're in battles, as you hopefully can see during the gameplay. It gets really crazy, and the soundtrack itself is very enchanting and really goes with the environment that you're in. Overall, I think the sound itself is absolutely fantastic as well. Now let's talk about the graphics, and oh my god, this game is so beautiful. Of course, the game is a 2D platformer, and the game's graphics, just the art style itself, is just gorgeous. It really is. The color palette has a nice warm color set to it, and it really works here. It's so gorgeous to look at. Even when it's in cave settings and it's just gray and brown, it's just an amazing looking game to look at. The character animations, especially in combat, are so fluid and nice. It's superb looking. It really is. It's so good to look at. I'm going to keep saying it. It looks so nice. Some backgrounds range from 3D environments to 2D environments, and they both look amazing and really do fit with the environment itself. And I really have no problems with the graphics at all, really. I have no problems at all. So the graphics here are absolutely amazing, and in my opinion, some of the best out there. You know what? I would say it's the best 2D graphics I've ever seen in my life. Now, the gameplay for Dust: An Elysian Tale is a lot like a Castlevania or a Metroid, or if you want to combine them, a Metroidvania type game, where you will be set into an area and you can go forth and go do the objective, or you can go get off the beaten path and of course go and explore things. Go find little secrets, little treasures to find, new equipment to find and use so you can be more badass, or you can just do the objective. Now, just like any other 2D platformer, you'll be of course platforming, so you'll be jumping and jumping to a next ledge, jumping to the next one, avoiding little hazards like maybe falling down and having to restart all the way from the bottom, or just like hitting a spike or something, standard stuff. But what really makes this game absolutely unique in the genre, and to be honest, I'm going to say it straight up, one of the best type of games like this I've ever played in my life, is the combat itself. Because of course you'll be fighting many creatures in the game. Every time you go to a different screen, you'll be fighting about maybe 20 to 30 enemies average every screen. And whenever you fight these guys, holy crap, it just feels so good. You'll be fighting them and you'll just get so insanely frantic, and it just really feels good to take take out like 5 or 6 or even up to 10 enemies at once. It's just so compelling, it really is. Now you can perform a couple of different combos with your sword as well. One of them will actually launch them in the air and you can fight them in the air. One of them will actually just slam them straight to the ground and automatically kill them. One of them is actually a really cool one where you can actually use your side character Fidget to shoot out these orbs, and you spin your sword against these orbs, and when you do that they actually split apart and make more orbs, and all of the orbs just fly around and kill a bunch of enemies, and it's really cool to look at, first of all, and it's really badass to perform. And just overall, the combat here is just so addicting and just so much fun, and I would say it's probably some of the best I've ever played in a platforming game ever of all time. Now what also is included is RPG elements, which in here are typical stuff. I mean, you kill enemies, you get experience, you level up, dust becomes stronger, has more health and stuff when you upgrades. You can also find loot drops here and there by killing enemies, and of course finding treasure chests in the environments. You can also go to a number of different shops in the game with the money that you get from killing enemies and bosses, and of course buy new equipment and new health items and so on. And you can even craft your own equipment in the game by finding blueprints in the environments and materials that will of course create these items. The RPG elements are a really nice addition to the gameplay, and just the game itself is absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to straight up tell you right here. The combat is absolutely amazing and addicting. The story is really compelling and has plenty of twists. The voice acting is great. The characters are so likable. The graphics are some of the best out there. That is why I give Dust and Elysian Tale my second 10 out of 10 for this year. You owe it to yourself to play this game because it's absolutely amazing, and I hope there is a sequel. I hope so. Please, people, buy this and support it because it's absolutely amazing. And I'll keep saying it, it's absolutely amazing.